Okay, good to see everybody. You guys doing okay today? All right.
How are you?
Good. Doing good. Thanks for asking. I appreciate that. Injury update for today. Guy's not practicing will be Keenan. Still working through his heel situation there. And again, we're trying to get him back on the grass as fast as possible. That's where he is. Blasting game is still dealing with his knee, so he won't be out at practice. And then Tevin Jenkins had a deep thigh bruise during the game, so he's not going to practice today to get strength back into that and to get that thing healed up. And then Pickens, as you know, left the groin left the game with a groin injury. We signed Deshaun Mallory to the practice squad. I'm not sure if that's out there yet. And then really, focusing on today, focusing on the last couple of days, really just looking at correction like you do after every single game, the evaluation of where we need to get better, what we need to improve on, working with each position coach to make sure that his drills are set up and rooted in fundamentals, because that's what wins football games. It's not scheme, it's not this or that. It all comes down to basics and fundamentals, and we got to keep working on that as we go. I always tell the story. I had a linebacker back in Dallas that would get cut all the time. Well, I changed my drills and adjusted them, and I tell you what, he never got cut again, right? Because every drill had a bag shooting at his legs, and he was defeating the cut block, and that's the example that I gave to the team today, and that's what it is. You partner up with your coach, and you figure out where you scratch where it itches, right? So it's important that we get that done today in the individual period, and working on that, because that's what wins. Winning habits wins football games. So with that, I'll take your questions.
Flus, offensively, who makes your checks at the line of scrimmage, and how can you guys, as such a great defensive mind, how can you better attack the blitz moving forward?
Yeah, making the communication at the line of scrimmage is really the center, does a lot of that, okay, along with the quarterback. So they're working in conjunction with each other. If it's working the run game one direction or the other, if it's working the protection one way or the other. And that's pretty much what you're doing. You're looking for looks. And again, they rely on each other in that. So it's really both guys.
Are you making any changes on the offensive line in the lineup?
Well, Tevin's not out there today, but that's not going to be a change. So, Matt Pryor will be in there for him, but as we all know, but I would say that right now, no.
And Coach, what were the ways for you guys to attack the blitz and beat it, to free some things up at the line of scrimmage?
Yeah, when you attack protections? Yeah. So you just, again, there's multiple ways to do that as a defensive coordinator, as a defense. You play off of things that you've done earlier in the game. You play off of stuff that you did earlier in the season, and give them looks and try to predict the protection and try to overload them on that side. A lot of times, when it's a 5-man, which we got some last week, it's more about just games, twists and pick games going on inside there. We just got to work on passing those off. And that's what they did last week.
With the protection, are there, as you look back at the tape, are there any issues you can diagnose that might be remedied by being able to move some guys around? I know Tevin's not there today, but is the door left open for maybe moving some guys out of position?
Yeah, we're looking for continuity and consistency and communication and getting better. That's what we're focused on. So I just think, I go back to my original comment, it's fundamentals, it's basics, and it's important that we get that down as a group. And so we're going back to that. That's what wins football games. So
after everything that happened the other night, you still had the ball at midfield with about a minute to go and a chance to win the game. What was your assessment of that final sequence in a game on the line situation and the way that all ended?
Yeah, it was good. Obviously, the series before that, and then the series by the defense was excellent to get us in position to do that. Great response by both units there. And then I would just say that at the end, you got to execute down the stretch, and that's what the game is. That's why we all play this game in the NFL, is that's the exciting moment, and that's what it comes down to, right? One-score games in the fourth quarter at the end. And again, we practice those, and we do a good job with those. And again, next time we're going to execute. So in terms of what happened in that one, everybody saw that the protection broke down at the right tackle. But that comes down to fundamentals. You look at the play, it comes down to fundamentals. It comes down to a good kick. It comes down to keeping your inside foot up. It comes down to being patient, right? And then working your protection, so that's where it was.
Now, when you start the season with 2 games where, when you
No, you first. I'll come back to him next. Yep, you go ahead.
You start the season with 2 games where the defense is rolling like it is, but the offense is struggling. Do you divert more of your time and energy this week to the offense?
Well, whenever there's an issue, okay, on any side of the ball, I'm always gonna go directly to that issue and work on that and put energy, time, attention to that. So that's no different if it was special teams, if it was offense or defensive line play, whatever that is. That's my job as the head coach. So yet the answer is yes.
So you hand off more defensive responsibility to Eric this week and then you?
No,
move over?
no, I can do some different things. I don't have to do that.
And understanding Keenan's injury is tricky in this nature. Is this, do you have a timeline or is it kind of just trying to see through the pain
Who did you
tolerance?
say?
With Keenan Allen.
Okay.
Is there a timeline in mind or is it more about pain tolerance and how he's kind of handling it?
Yeah, it's the latter. It's the latter. It's just, working it day to day and see, what it is day to day. So again, we're obviously wanting him to come back as fast as possible, but it's gotta be right, for him.
Matt, a deep fibrous doesn't sound like something that heals overnight. Does Tevin have to be 100% to play on Sunday, or can he play? Is this something you feel eventually you can play through?
Yeah, we feel good about it. We do feel good about it. So again, we'll see where it goes, for tomorrow. But again, it's a power thing, and then him feeling comfortable, and the trainers feeling comfortable for him to come back in.
And with so much, like you said, continuity is such a key from the line. Will you push it a little bit to get him in there? You know what I'm saying? I mean, I know you don't want to play if he's hurt, but are you? Do you feel good enough that continuity is important enough that you really want to make sure he can get in there if he can?
Yeah, I mean, Tevin's always going to push in there. He wants to be in there, and if he can go, he's going to go.
Matt, when you look at those, the interception that happened when Caleb was trying to get the ball to Cole Kmet, how do you balance trying to coach those special throws of, I want you to make that throw because that's why we drafted you in college, from your tape in college, but also you have to know the moment, you have to know when you can take those chances, when you can't take those chances.
Yeah, I think it's the answer is rooted in your question. I really believe that. It's about knowing when and knowing how. And again, he's got that special talent to be able to throw on the move, so we don't want to take that away from him. But it's got to be where it's in conjunction with the receiver, meaning that the one to Cole, right? He's got to put it where he can get it and nobody else can get it. In DJ, when you throw those 50-50 balls, to me those should be 100% ball, right? So meaning that we're catching it or nobody's catching it. So the receiver we have to have trust in the receiver and trust in the quarterback to be able to get that done.
Matt, how would you define your offensive identity, or is it possible that you haven't found it yet?
We're working. Yeah, we're working. So it's we're working, and guys are working in fundamentals, and we're figuring out what we do well. It's a second game in our offense. So we're gonna figure it out. I believe that we got better last week. In terms of rhythm, timing, passing, distributing the ball to the skill. Okay, now we're working run game, all the other things that come off of that. And like I said, we're a work in progress. And I believe in the coaches, and I believe in the players, and the guys are working to get that done.
With the environment you guys were in the other night, what was your diagnosis of the false start issues and using the silent cadence?
Yeah, we got to improve. Yeah. Evaluation, definitely, we're working on that. I know Indy's loud. Of course, I was there 4 years, so it is a loud place, and we need to get that, on point, and we'll work that today.
What was off point in there in your mind?
Yeah, there's, each one was different. Each one was different, but again, it's got to be consistent. It's got to be consistent, and we got to work it.
Matt, you mentioned the breakdown at right tackle on the final drive, but Darnell overall had a pretty tough day. How did you evaluate and diagnose the issues that he dealt with?
Yeah, it comes back to the first thing I said. It's all rooted in fundamentals, right? He's got the talent, he's got the drive and determination, okay, to get that done. And again, when you have a game, right, that you're not proud of, guess what? You come back and have a good game, right? That's how you respond. So it starts right out here on the grass.
Thanks, guys.
Yep.
Thank you, Matt.